Help me, Vladimir Putin, you're my only hope. Help us, Vladimir Putin, you're our only hope. Help us, Vladimir Putin, you're our only hope. Yeah, well, that's a quote from Star Wars, except for I put Vladimir Putin in, instead of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It just so happens that I think he might be the only hope for us. He might be the only one to be able to talk some sense into our government, who's bent on destroying the world and murdering millions of innocent women and children, including our own. So yeah, help us, Vladimir Putin. You're our only hope, please. You know what? Everybody talks down on Russia around here in the U.S., but to be honest, they're probably better than we are. I mean, we are the biggest terrorists in the world. We're an evil group of people. No one seems to care that our rights are being taken away. Everybody's strung out on this patriotic bull crap. Well, guess what? The idea of what our country stands for is better. You're more patriotic if you stand for your idea of what this country was supposed to stand for than if you just salute the damn flag. So, yeah. Help us, Vladimir Putin, your only hope to save us from a psychopathic president that we have. Yeah, we need that help. Our American people apparently are ignorant. That is my opinion now. They're all a bunch of stupid idiots. Now, why do I say this? One, because no one opens their eyes. Two, well, even our government says that we're a bunch of ignorant. We're apparently too ignorant to make up our own minds, according to the United States government. Yeah, if you don't believe me, just think about it. You don't even need proof, just think about it. What have they said? Well, Facebook and Pokemon and all those things, they're the cause of the election problem. How about the simple fact that as far as the election goes, maybe, just maybe, Americans got fed up and didn't want crooked Hillary in there? You ever thought of that? So right about now, yeah, Vladimir Putin, you're only hope, because I don't know what you can do, but maybe you can do something. Maybe you could take my message that I sent you. Yeah, I messaged him. I had an idea to help out in the situation with all the refugees crisis that they have over in Europe. It was a simple, basic idea. It might at least temporarily help the refugees until they can return home. Put them on an island in the South China Seas. It's really simple, huh? Teach them to farm for the few years, because obviously sitting in those camps aren't doing much, and they've been there for a long time already. It ain't gonna hurt anybody on a deserted island other than each other. So you ain't gotta worry about that. Set them up with homes. You're already spending all this damn money. Move them there, set them up with homes, teach them to farm. At the very least, you provide them with medical and food until then while you're doing that anyways. Give them the help they need, add a little bit of support, put them there, and then relocate them as time goes by. Maybe some of them will make those islands their own, and you won't ever have to worry about them. Hey, it's an idea. What can I say? As for me, I got my own plans, like building a really big airship. Might sound crazy, I say airship. Dreadnought to be exact. I have ideas. A lot of them. It may not work. Either way, I'll make it sail, so I can sail on the ocean, but if I can make it fly, even better. Here's something. You say that there's a couple of things in this world that we have of energy crisis deal, right? Well, here's a deal for the energy crisis. There's some easy solutions. You can pull hydrogen out of water. Guess what? Look up Michael Rain's Expert Village. He shows you how. He's got these little incubators that show you how to pull hydrogen out of water. It's really simple. I've done it for testing before. It really works. Well, what happens when you have a burnable fuel system like hydrogen that can pop and explode? Well, gee, maybe that can replace gasoline. Everybody says, well, we need new cars to do this. No, you don't. You need a new system and something that can be converted to be used like gasoline. Well, this is one of those. If you set up a system like that, you can use hydrogen, and it burns, and it pops, and it explodes. Therefore, it can go through a combustible engine, combust, come out clean the other end, and work just the same. It's no more than a matter of pressure and regulators. And you could get it to work in a car. For the price of a jug of distilled water and a price of a 99-cent box of baking soda that would last you with the car, probably with the system in the car, probably about 2-3 years. As far as the baking soda goes, maybe I'm overextending that. At least 6-7 months. That's still a lot less than you pay on gas. You might have to rechange the water. Even if you only changed it over once a month. Guess what? It's easy. And making distilled water is easy too. Really easy. It's called heat it up and send it through a distill. They're easy to make. You heat up one end, it condenses in the other. It's distilled after that. That's why they call them stills. And don't tell me that you guys don't know how to do that, because I'll tell you, anybody up around here, your great-grandpappy or your pappy, in some cases, you are still making moonshine. The difference is you don't add all the corn and the alcohol and that, and you still got to distill. It's the same thing as you're just distilling. You're running a still. It's what it does. It distills. It even works on water. If you just run water through it and nothing else, you have distilled water. Yeah, boys. And we all know you make that for your moonshine. So don't give me that crap. Now, beyond that, yeah. Okay, so hydrogen. Great, perfect fuel. That's one of them. Okay. Permanent magnet motors. Look it up. Guess what? You might be amazed. I'm not going to say much more than permanent magnet motors. If you can actually understand it and actually look at it, permanent magnet motors are one of the best ways to run a motor, and any kind of motor works as long as it's got enough torque. Okay, so bypass that. Alright, then you have solar, wind, and water. Let's say you are on a boat in the middle of the ocean, or let's say you're near a river or a stream. Well, now you have the best type of power that you can make easily. I watched a guy literally power his house with an alternator, bringing it up to a converter and a battery bank system, using an alternator that he put in a stream that I could barely get my feet wet in. So yeah, you don't need a lot, it's just got to be able to turn. The turning of the power works like a generator. It's surrounded by a magnetic force. Basically, it's copper coil. As the copper coil turns, you need a magnetic force, which is how Niagara Falls works. It's a simple, basic thing we've been using for years. Any brook, anything, it'll disconnect you. A little line of bullshit that I found recently. In Florida, especially with all the hurricanes and that, it is illegal for someone to disconnect themselves permanently and go off grid. That means you're not allowed to go off grid. It means you have to be hooked up to the power company. That should be illegal, but there's our American dollars going in. There's actually a thing that makes it illegal for you to do that. Guess what, folks? We wonder why people suffer. They want more money, and that's the only reason for that, really, is to suck the American people in Florida dry for money. Because there's plenty of sun. Well, there's sin too. Sin, sun, and solar. And you know what? 2 of those make power. Maybe the 3rd if you can figure it out. So yeah, there's a lot of alternative energy systems. And our government now more than ever doesn't want you to know about it or have it. Well, you know what? I say fuck them. Go buy a solar panel. If you're stuck on your own permanent house, you're never going to get it. If you're there and you're stuck, you're never going to get it. If they say you can't have it. But if you're mobile, and mobile is the way to go, because you know what? I predict within the next 5 to 10 years, the entire planet, minus a few pieces of land, are going to be underwater. Get a boat. There's a woman, and I'm promoting her doing this, but I don't care. She's a wonderful woman. She's got a YouTube channel called Sailing Miss Lone Star. And it's one of the things I tell everybody to watch. She bought a boat for $1 and put it together. Watch it. It is wonderful. And you know what? There's going to be a time, none of you're either going to be choosing to die or choosing to go on a boat, in my personal opinion. And that's what y'all are going to have the choice to make. Most people are going to procrastinate and not care either way. I'm not procrastinating. I'm building my ship. One way or another. It's either going to float or float and fly. And I think I figured out a way to do that. Yeah. And I wanted to do both. So yeah, that's actually one of my goals. Make a ship that can fly and float. And I already have the designs, and I'm making this thing. That's for me alone. Figure it out on your own. But I am telling you, get a boat if you can. Any kind of boat. Just a boat that you could stay on for more than a couple of days. Get it. You could put up solar, wind. You want to know what? Something else. The ocean's currents constantly move. Okay, folks? They constantly move. And if you put something at the closer to the ocean floor, the current above the ocean depth, okay, let's say you go lower and lower and lower, those currents are actually slower. If you want faster currents, you want it actually closer to the boat. So that works out great. Because those ocean currents, you could take a water generator, or you could take a wind generator and use it as a water generator by putting the fins in and reconfiguring it, sticking it outside of your boat, and you have energy, electricity. If your boat runs on an electric motor at that point, the ocean's powering it. Got news for you. I would still put a distill on the ship, a couple of them maybe for some alcohol, a little bit of moonshine, and then another one for the water, for drinking, and for powering my boat, and maybe even for bathing, and all those things. But yeah, it's not a hard system. These things that they try to make you sound like they're so hard are actually simple. And don't look at me and go, well, if they're simple, why don't you do it? Because I am. Guess what, folks? I've done it before in the smaller sense, experimenting-wise. My time of experimenting is pretty much up. Everything else I'm doing, I'm really going to be doing, like full scale now. Because that's how I want to live. So, eventually, when I do leave my job, won't be for a while. I need to make money. I need to save money. I have money in stocks. I do suggest people put money in Bitcoin. I don't know which is going to win, which is not going to win, which is going to make the most. But hey, try everything. Actually, don't put your money in Bitcoin. No. Leave that all for me. The less you put money in Bitcoin, the lower Bitcoin is. Gives me more time to buy it up what I can and get rich while you all don't put money in Bitcoin. Matter of fact, I hope people drop Bitcoin so I can make more money. Because when they start picking it up again, if that's the case, then I'll make more money. At least that's how I hope it goes. Alright, well, this has been over 15 minutes, so that's a rough video for you guys. Have a nice day. Take my advice if you can.